Welcome to the Dreamlands. We are back in the deserts of Kharak for some more multiplayer action. Right before we jump into the replay though, there was an announcement that I wanted to make. There is a Deserts of Kharak tournament coming up on September the 8th. It's being hosted by Philothanic and Mask of the Red Death, I believe on Battlefly. And so I wanted to get the word out to the community. The Artifact Cups are currently not happening, but this is going to be a new tournament that, if this first round has a decent turnout, will be a constant thing within the community. And personally, I think tournaments are awesome. Some of the most fun times I've had in the community were in the older Artifact Cups when I was able to play. I don't know if I'm going to be joining this one. I certainly will if I can. But anyway, I'm going to leave the link to the video, or to the sign up on Battlefly in the video description. I encourage all of you to jump in there and join. All skill levels are welcome, and the tournament is a Swiss format, so everyone gets a chance to fight everybody else, as long as there are that many rounds going. I'm not entirely sure how many rounds are going to go. That'll depend highly, I imagine, on the number of people that enroll. But I encourage you all to enroll. The system has sort of like a matchmaking of its own, so the winner will be determined by points, and after the first couple of matches you will be set up against an opponent of a similar points value, similar rating, so you don't have to worry too much about getting face rolled every single round by an expert player. If you're new to the game, jump in, have some fun with the community, and play some DOK. The community on the Homeworld Universe Discord is the one hosting it, and Philo and Mask are both highly active members of that community. If you're not a part of that Discord yet, I'll also leave the link to that in the video description. I encourage you to join it if you're into DOK or Remastered. A pretty large portion of the community for both games is on there, so it's a good way to meet players that play, get games set up, get involved in the community and meet everybody, and generally just have a pretty good time. So both of those links will be there in the description. Join both of those if you can. I encourage you to do so, and this is the replay we are going to check out for today. Another 3v3, some pretty solid players. Judging by the lineup, actually, I would say these teams look pretty evenly stacked, and I hear this was a pretty solid game. So I am looking forward to it immensely. We're going to have a Soban Coalition and Galcian go up against Soban Double Coalition. Wow. So just a single Galcian player, and the rest are Northerners. Claw's going to hate that. Claw's like the community's local Galcian religious fanatic. And Duran's actually playing Coalition. That's pretty strange. He is the community Soban Sa, as he likes to say. And yes, Mask, yes, Popper, I do have the replay viewer mod, so you guys can stop crying about that. Alright, let's get our bearings. We are over here on the south side as Team 1. So we are going to have, first up, spawning on the right-hand side of the south spawn on Kalash Valley, it is going to be Kitsune playing as the Soban. This player should be familiar with all of you, has been appearing in a number of replays recently on the channel, has been improved quite a lot in recent times, and so a big shout out to Kitsune playing as the Soban. Taking up the middle spawn, we have got Joran, who has been on a little bit of a break and has recently made his triumphant return to the Deserts of Kharak. A very, very competent player, has been around since the early days and has been making a good showing of himself throughout his career. His ally spawning to the left of him is going to be none other than Catharsis, another player that is very skilled, whom all of you should be familiar with at this time. A very, very skilled Galcian and Knef player. So this team looks pretty damn stacked. Kitsune, Joran, and Catharsis. Their opponents on the other side of the field, on the north side, facing off against them, it is going to be none other than Empty Soul taking up the left-hand spawn. I don't even need to give this guy an introduction. He's on the channel all the damn time. Everybody knows him. A cheeky player. Comes up with some really interesting and fun plays. Has an attitude problem, but that's okay. I like the way he plays. So we have him on the channel all the damn time. Taking up the middle position, it is going to be Moritz once again, who has also been appearing on a number of replays recently. So welcoming him back to the channel. And on the left-hand spawn, it is going to be Sundered Echo. This is a player that I haven't seen in a little while, but I am very fond of this player. He's a cool guy. He's a lore fanatic in the Homeworld universe like myself, and a pretty damn solid player all around. So there we have it. Pretty stacked teams. What have we got going on? Base runner in mid from Sundered, grabbing an artifact, backed up, of course, by a ton of LAVs. Following suit, Empty Soul has a ton of LAVs mid, while Moritz goes for an artifact grab of his own. And Empty's got his base runner following close by. Is he going to use that for some turret? Is he playing as Soban? Yeah, he is. No, he's playing... Yeah, he is. Soban. So maybe some targeting jammer shenanigans. We have got tons of LAVs and skimmers from both sides. Kitsune is grabbing an early artifact as well, with a bunch of LAVs from Kitsune, a bunch of skimmers from Catharsis. We have our first big engagement of the game. Numbers are heavily in yellow team's favor. Empty Soul's LAVs are already taking some brutal punishment and forced into retreat. Meanwhile, AAVs from Moritz come streaming out across the map, cutting through mid, push back on all of these skimmers and LAVs and force them away, hoping to open a path for the artifact drop-off. We have a turret post from Moritz as well, covering the flank, and some big harassment coming out along the flank from Moritz. LAVs, they are going to shut down mining on Kitsune's first wreck bulkhead, do a little bit of pressure on the main. Oh, look at this. Even getting some damage in from those blast charges on the salvagers. That's really nice. We've got AAVs both from Joran as well as Kitsune, going to reinforce that flank and force those strike craft off. Railguns already on the field for Catharsis. Perfect answer to those forward AAVs from Moritz. Who is going to dunk an artifact? Currently nobody's able to. That's pretty nice. Bunch of AAVs on the field, bunch of LAVs and skimmers and railguns as well. What the hell? Look at this. 3 turrets? Moritz with 2 turrets left and right, and Sundered with a turret mid. These skimmers, or these LAVs from Empty Soul, are going to try and make a push for that heavy railgun. They're going to get pushed off by Catharsis skimmers screening for that heavy railgun. Looks like Team 2 is going to be able to dunk both of those artifacts. Whoa, what is going on here? Empty Soul has got a gunship en route. Where is that going to go? He's scouting all of the mains. He is going to go directly for Catharsis. First wreck bulkhead here. Put a bunch of damage out onto those salvagers. Nice splits though from Catharsis. His micro is on point as usual. Empty's gunship is going to put out some damage and then make a push back home. Boom, both artifacts go down, so Team 2 dunks both artifacts, taking them up 2-0. Even putting a little bit of damage onto that heavy railgun. Empty Soul's cheeky gunship rush, I do love that build. Not as effective as the cost pretty much ever, but it is still a fun build. It's also going to force that anti-air tech from Team 1. What have we got going for builds? Empty Soul now picking up his second. Moritz and Sundered also picking up their seconds. Kitsune just reestablishing his second, and likewise Joran. Actually, Joran on 3 already, so super greedy for Joran. He does have a ton of units on the field though. He does have those 4 AAVs pushing forward with 3 of them and hanging back with 1. Looks like we do have a second production cruiser on the field for Catharsis, probably looking to set up his third shortly. These AAVs are going to run into a turret. One of them is going to get popped, but a smoke screen is going to cover their retreat. Joran's macro is looking savage as usual. He is already mining off of 3 locations. He does have full force coalition macro on the field. Tons and tons of AAVs and heavy railguns starting to hit the field. Some nice micro on that gunship from Empty, going to put in a little bit of damage, but he's going to run into some anti-air and be forced into full retreat. Who is this? Sundered Echo looking to try and get a flank out on Joran's railguns. That's going to get shut down. Look at all of these AVs. Ooh, the mortar! Oh! Beautiful mortar from Joran, right on the money. That's going to clean up this entire blob pretty much, but it looks like Joran lost a couple salvagers for his trouble. Rebuilding a couple of those just now. Oh, strike fighters as well. Is that Empty Soul? Moritz with strike fighters going to catch a couple of railguns out. Really nicely done there. What do we got going on over here? A big flank from... Oh, shit, I didn't see it. That must have been Kitsune going to get cleaned up by Empty's gunship. Man, I love these things. Oh, yeah, and on the back of that little bit of harassment, it looks like Kitsune is going to try and drop that artifact. I think that was Kitsune. Yep. So Kitsune is finally going to drop an artifact and bring it up 2-1. And as the map gets cut in half, Catharsis takes his third. Kitsune looks like he is about to take that third. A bunch of AAVs guarding it there. Is that... Whoa! A bomber from Empty Soul. Cheeky play. Look at this. Tactical bomber. You don't see these very often. And I have to say this is one of my favorite units and one of the shittiest units in the game. Sadly, I do love it. It looks awesome. Just the theme of the unit is friggin' awesome, but it is way too expensive. It comes out way too late and has no resilience whatsoever to stay on the field long enough to deliver its payload. Even with the recent buffs, I think it is just underpowered for such a late unit, and it is going to struggle to get any value now that Joran has this massive death ball here, the Coalition death ball, AAVs, railguns backed up by missile batteries. Joran is going to go pushing right through mid. Who is that? Moritz grabbed a third artifact, but he is in full retreat at this point. He spotted the death ball from Joran just pushing right through mid. We do have a big flank going wide. Empty Soul's LAVs. They're going to get cut off, though, by Kitsune's AAVs pushing down from the hill. Force him back and sandwich them in between his own AAVs as well as Joran's AAVs. And those Strikecraft are going to get forced into a full retreat. However, we do have a couple of sand skimmers as well as heavy railguns supporting the line as Joran moves forward. What do we got for tech? Empty Soul with this cheeky LAV gunship and tactical bomber. How much power does he have on this thing? Just one unit of power still, so no power reserves. Those ALMs are going to be pretty useless at this point in the game. Some Strikecraft hits, or I should say Strike Fighter hits, going to put some damage out onto these AAVs. Joran coming forward with his carrier, Jesus Christ. Just a lone carrier with only 2 units of power, 1 in weapon, 1 in range. Is going to try and lock down Empty's third. I think this third is very hard to hold on this map. However, Moritz is coming up with his carrier to support a big blob of Strikecraft moving through mid from Empty Soul. Going to try and put out more and more damage. Looks like half of Joran's army has been taken to the toaster here. Oh, and they've left their middle pass wide open for Empty Soul, who's going to fly in here with all of these LAVs. You've got to be careful of this. This can be potentially so lethal. One of Joran's support cruisers is toast. Empty is just going to run rampant through here unless Kitsune can cut him off with enough AAVs or some air or something. A couple of AAVs from Moritz bearing down on Kitsune, going to try and pin her in place while these LAVs run rampant. Joran's second support cruiser is going to go down. Oh my god, this is just potentially catastrophic for Team 1. Joran says fuck it, he is just going to push. Empty Soul's carrier is in full retreat. His third has been shut down. Oh, Moritz carrier is actually taking a beating as well. This could potentially be a pretty good play by Joran. Sandwiching Moritz's carrier between Kitsune's heavy railguns and battle cruisers on the high ground. Going to put some serious hurt onto that thing, force a full retreat. A couple of assault cruisers pop. This could be good against this blob, but they want to get the hell over the top of that dune and out of line of sight of those railguns. Oh god! Joran's entire army just eats shit right then and there. Oh, beautiful play with those assault cruisers, man. Oof. That was nice. Duran is now in full retreat, but so is Moritz. Pushed back behind those dunes. Meanwhile, finally enough AAVs crawl onto the field to shut down Empty's backstab, but the damage has been done. Two of Duran's assault cruisers, or support cruisers, pardon me, have been pushed back. A couple of battle cruisers from Kitsune taking up a forward position here to lock down this pass, prevent any flanks, and we do have a big flank starting to build up from Sundered Echo railguns galore. Nothing covering them though, so a nice flank by some strike craft would do some serious damage on this. What's going on? A big push again going through this side of the map. Forward carrier from Catharsis spewing out honor guard cruisers. Oh hell yeah. Love these things. Screened by some heavy railguns as well as sand skimmers. Empty Soul is going to have a really hard time reestablishing his third now that he's got this giant army camping out here. Tactical Bomber is going to try and run in and do some hits. Ooh, big, brutal. Oh my god. Those gunship salvos were absolutely savage. Gunship goes down though, but holy smokes, that was good good damage from Empty Soul there. If he was able to flee in time with that gunship, that would have been absolutely beautiful. Still 2-1 in terms of artifacts. Massive armies on both sides. Look at this. This is how this map always turns out. It's really hard to push from one team's territory into another. It's very easy to defend on this map, but it looks like Catharsis and Duran are going to go for it. Let's see these Honor Guard cruiser shots. Oof. Some artillery would be pretty damn nice on the field right now. Tactical Bomber going to try and get a payload off. Going to get forced back by those missile batteries and missile ships. I think one did drop. One bomb. Oh, we've got a nuke as well. Who's that nuke? Empty Soul with a microwave emitter from downtown. Oh, a cruise missile from downtown. That must have been Moritz then. That was Moritz. Pardon me. Empty Soul is playing Soban. So that was either Sundered or Moritz. That was definitely Moritz with a cruise missile from downtown. Going to pop only a couple of units. Force the rest back. We've got interceptors in the sky from Catharsis. Going to start laying waste to Empty Soul's economy here. He has reestablished his third, but he's going to get forced off once again. That support cruiser goes down. What's going on the rest of the map? Nothing. Kitsune just macroing up with mass battle cruiser. Backed up by support cruisers and some missile batteries, and his carrier now moving into mid to support. Duran went into retreat to his second. Has long hauling from his main. No, he's got a support cruiser there. Finally rebuilding those salvagers. Jesus, look at this railgun line. Sundered Echo with a very nice railgun line on the top of that dune, backed up by his carrier, as well as some assault cruisers on the back of that dune there to respond to any push. You have battle cruisers though that are deciding to push. This should be a fight and a half. These railguns are not enough to take it. They're going to put some serious damage in with that high ground, but 3 battle cruisers pushing forward, that is not enough. Railguns, even with the high ground. This bomber is going to unload once again, but goes down to the AA. A couple of Duran's AAVs protecting the battle cruisers, backed up by Kitsune's carrier moving in for a push. What is this? What the hell is Moritz doing? Is he trying to get a nuke off? He's got some strike fighters or some interceptors putting some hurt on his carrier. What is this? Sundered Echo with LAVs trying to get in among these battle cruisers. Not going to do enough damage though. He wants to lure them across this dune where the assault cruisers can go toe to toe at point blank range. Oh god, we have got a nuke. Microwave emitter, so that was Empty Soul. By the looks of it, going to force all these units out of position. Kitsune's carrier, a Soban carrier with some power. Oh god, and a cruise missile. Oh, is it going to whiff? Oh, total whiff on the cruise missile. That was a nice play though by Sundered. He was going to try and nuke the units that were retreating from the microwave emitter. Sadly, that didn't happen. We've got savage combat going on all sides. What is this? Empty Soul is still with bombers. Trying to make this bomber play work. Moritz is in a tough spot, though. He is trying to push with a very strong carrier. I think I missed a nuke because it just went off cooldown. That is unfortunate. Oh, he is going to pop one of the honor guards. Nicely done. Well, a massive swarm of skimmers gets right behind his carrier and starts laying waste to all of these salvagers, all of these units, putting serious damage onto Empty's third yet again. Moritz is going to escape, but... Oof, those gunships again on those skimmers. Good God, look at that. That is nice damage there. It's pretty good tactical bomber and gunship play from Empty. What you're seeing, though, is the usual problem with those units in the late game. They just can't engage where they need to engage due to the strength of AA and the lack of tankiness on those units. Man, Team 2 is struggling to break out of this one position. They're just locked in this one tight spot on the map. Team 1, however, cannot crack them. Very, very good game so far. I've probably missed a ton of action. I know I missed one nuke for sure. I don't know where that landed. It definitely looks like Team 2 is starting to crack a little bit under the pressure. Team 1's micro is just too damn strong, and their carriers are fanned out in such a way that they can't spearhead an approach. Like, all three of these players can't just gank one player and break out that way. They're going to get collapsed in on if they try that. Finally, we got some assault or artillery cruisers on the field. Another nuke flies out. Where's that going? Microwave emitter going to try and push back this pass here. All of Catharsis units through that pass, force them into retreat. And a cruise missile, Jesus Christ. And another cruise missile. Oh my God, this one is going to be money. Oh! Oof, that cruise missile was absolutely beautiful. Well fucking done by Sundered Echo. Backed up as that is by a couple of artillery cruisers. Kitsune is hurting. All of his units have taken an absolute kick to the face, and he is eating artillery fire. He is going to have a very, very hard time advancing through this pass right now. Oh, Honor Guard cruiser shot onto the Strikecraft blob. Two of them wrecks face. That blob is toast. Nicely done. What is this? Battle cruiser? Is that a coalition battle cruiser? Yeah, it is. A coalition battle cruiser is just going to try and brute force its way in here. Not going to happen. It is going to pop smoke and try and get back there. Joran with a battle cruiser on the field. Really nice. Keep eating artillery. Hopefully it can get itself out of the middle of the map and healed up a little bit. More artillery launched onto Kitsune. Looks like Red is going to hold once again. Team 2. We need some AA to deal with these interceptors, or else they will just keep doing damage. If I know Empty Soul, he's definitely got support cruiser anti-air. Oh, we've got a Galcian nuke as well, right on top of all of this resourcing. All of these railguns, as well as this carrier, are going to force everybody to move the hell out of the way. Pretty pathetic damage all around. That's why the Galcian nuke is kind of laughable through the cold. It's either going to do like heinous amounts of damage or absolutely jack squat. What's going on back here? Some harassment through the top pass above the hill, no doubt. This has got to be Catharsis. Some sand skimmers try and force Empty Soul out of position, put a little bit of damage on, get those air units forced back to deal with them. Look at the macro though. Good grief. Sticking with sand skimmers, missile ships, heavy railguns, and honor guard cruisers for Catharsis with a very powerful carrier. Joran likewise. His power lagging a little bit behind. Oh God, another nuke. Big cruise missile right on top of Kitsune's face again. Decimates the majority of his army. These battle cruisers have all been absolutely throttled. They're on fire. Their hulls are literally on fire. My God, look at this. Couple of artillery barrages, and these things would be toast. Look at all of his units just flaming. Here comes some artillery. Oh, they're going to go right on top of those railguns. Dumpster a couple of those things. Kitsune is hurting, man. But look at what we've got with Jesus Christ, look at this army from Duran, man. Sticking with AAV and railgun, backing up a few battle cruisers. This is pretty damn nice. Kitsune's got battle cruisers on this side of the field too, though. They're just going to get stun locked from these ALMs, eat a ton of artillery fire. That is how you do it. Nice response from Sundered Echo and Empty Soul working in concert. Very, very beautiful. I like the use of these assault cruisers and artillery cruisers, using Empty Soul's ALM fence to just make it impossible to crack this position. Moritz again with the forward carrier coming out, taking an acid whooping and back in. We've got a huge push though coming along this west side, this really, really difficult side. This side is difficult to push and difficult to hold. Oh my god, here comes a nuke. I hope that's a cruise missile, because this is going to be... Oh, it's just a microwave emitter. All of these units are mostly going to escape unscathed. Joran's blob takes a bit of damage, though, from that. More artillery pouring across the hill. Was that blind fire, or did Kitsune just lose a ton of units? I think that was blind fire, just trying to prevent Kitsune from coming across here. Man, what a game. This is going to run the clock, I think. What the hell? Okay, we've got Carrier Hill Cheese coming out from Catharsis. His Dalcian carrier has flown all the way up the hill to this position here, where he can rain missiles down and do a bunch of cheesy shit. I didn't know about this. I didn't even know this was possible until recently when P. Bobbert did it, and it was incredibly fucking annoying. He sat up here with a Knef carrier and just made it impossible to deliver artifacts because he could just rain missiles down. Super cheesy, super annoying. Look at that Catharsis. Oh man, he's just going to use that as a launch point for all these interceptors, but with this many support cruisers with anti-air tech on the field, there's not much he can do. We have another nuke here, right on top of all of this artillery. Oh god, it's a cruise missile. Boom, bye-bye. Man, the amount of cruise missiles and nukes that have been launched in this game is just unprecedented. Kitsune back here trying to heal up all of his battle cruisers. That is going to take a couple years. Those things won't be in combat anytime soon. Look at that. You can even dodge the tactical bomber payload. As we just saw, those sandskimmers just dodge the thing. It did nothing. Oh boy, we've got a coalition battlecruiser spearheading the charge. We've got a nuke. Where's this thing going? Oh, right on top of Duran's carrier. That thing takes a massive punch to the face. He loses like half the army that was around it. But this battlecruiser is still here. We've got to see this thing go in. Is it going to get on top of any carriers enough? It can take a carrier out. Like a single battlecruiser can take a carrier out. Is he going to go for Empty Soul? Man, he's already taken a ton of missiles from Sundered Echo's carrier. Oof, it is going to start laying into Empty Soul's carrier, backed up by a few railguns. With that, I think Catharsis is going to move in with a number of heavy railguns screened by skimmers. They're all going to go for Empty Soul's carrier. A couple of bomber payloads actually get off and they take the battlecruiser out. Beautiful play by Empty Soul. His carrier is in very, very desperate straits, though. Going to have to retreat right through a Galcian nuke from on top of that hill. Oh my god, is he going to live? I think he's going to live. Beautiful team play. Look at that. With the body block from Sundered Echo. Absolutely beautiful play from Sundered Echo. Oh boy, Kitsune is in trouble by the looks of it. Moritz has taken up a high ground spot with some of those railguns. They have got a bead on Kitsune's carrier. He is forward with his own carrier, full power into armor. Holy shit, look at the amount of power on his carrier. 3 units in weapons, 3 in range, and full in power with even a repair beams active, backed up by 2 support cruisers. Kitsune is toast. There's no way he's going to survive that. Oh god, we've got another nuke. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Oh my god. Holy shit. Man, I gotta put a language warning on this video. I do apologize if anybody's offended by that. You are gonna have to mute the video or plug your ears or something. That was absolutely mental. So Sundered Echo's carrier goes down to a clutch cruise missile, as well as some support from Catharsis carrier, which has just used the hill to basically appear behind enemy lines, flying on top of that hill. It looks like Team 1 is going to take it. Sundered is down, Kitsune is in full retreat, and Moritz has secured the high ground. However, Empty Soul is also in full retreat, and he is surrounded at the moment by Duran and Catharsis. Catharsis has a big wing of interceptors coming in. Nuke from Empty, I believe. Nope, from Moritz. Cruise missile from high ground, just going to pop 2 railguns. That was a giant waste. Empty Soul is in full retreat, going to try and link up with Moritz on the high ground. They are going to forfeit their entire side of the field. That means this is the last stand of Empty Soul and Moritz. There's no way they can pull out from this. I don't think they have little to no economy. Meanwhile, basically Team 1 has the map. Nobody cares about artifacts anymore by the looks of it. Moritz does have a frighteningly strong carrier. That's going to be a problem. Look at this thing just lay waste to these units. Ugh, man. Nice positioning on those railguns too. He's going to make it a hell of a time for any of these players to push up and get him. He's got cruise missile. He's got so much power. He's got support cruisers keeping his carrier alive and a bunch of railguns. Look at the rank on that railgun even. A bunch of railguns on the high ground. Empty Soul supporting with his carrier. A ton of support cruisers as well. Elsie and Nuke though from downtown start laying waste to those railguns. Pops one of them. Oh, is it going to get the... Oh my god. Oh, this thing needs to live. This one railgun needs to live. Because it has such good rank. You want that thing alive. Oh boy, we have a nuke as well from Duran. Cruise missile right on top of Moritz's carrier. But look at how much damage that didn't do because of the 5 power in armor. That was pretty nice. However, looks like we have got a good old-fashioned Deserts of Kharak carrier battle. There's nothing I love to see more than this. It's like naval combat, but 10 times more awesome. Look at Duran. He has no shits to give. He is just pushing forward. Catharsis coming in from the rear. They are going to surround Moritz. Are they trying to kill Empty Soul or Moritz? I don't know, but Joran is dangerously close to going down here. He might actually go down. They want Moritz. They are both going to focus on Moritz. Wisely, Catharsis is actually going to focus on these support cruisers, take them down. Joran goes down with the old suicide charge. Oof. That'd be weird if Empty and Moritz actually won. But we do have Honor Guard cruisers. Oh yeah, the big boys have joined the battle. They're going to start putting some serious hurt onto all of these support cruisers. But they have AA coverage. There are tactical bombers in the sky. It is in sudden death. Oh, because Team 1 was able to dunk an artifact. Oh my god, beautifully done. Catharsis dunks an artifact sometime while he was back there. Very, very nice. He has a second artifact. Is this going to go to an artifact win? Moritz and Empty Soul desperately trying to stop him. They can probably stop him too. Empty Soul shunts all power into weapons. He's got 4 in range. He can take out this base runner if he chooses. Oh, nice play by Catharsis. Going to try and use this missile to block these units from coming in to shut down this drop. Come on. Oh my god, they make it! Unreal. Absolutely unreal. That just goes to show how utterly pathetic and chump-like the Soban carrier is in combat. I'm sorry, but I just hate that it sucks. It's the worst carrier in combat by far, and it's the Soban, so I love that. I love that Kith in the lore big time, so it triggers me that this is so utterly shitty. You saw what it did with 5 power and weapons, couldn't even take down a base runner. Anyway, enough of that saltiness. What an amazing game. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. Smash a like if you like this video. Hit that subscribe button if you like my content. Let me know what you think in the comment section, and I'll see you for the next video.